All right, shalom, shalom. Back at it again. All right, so this is our part two. All right, let's go to the book of Joel, the third chapter. Once again, giving all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Shemai Shai. He's prophesying. All right, so this is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. All right. And so what this is talking about is you heathens, all right, these other nations, these non-Israelites. All right. We are the true Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. And it's not us that have weapons or any of that, okay, or are able to go to war. Okay. It's these heathens. All right. Starting with America, Babylon the Great, Russia, China, India, Iran, so on and so forth. All of these, other nations have their their military, and they're gonna fight one another. All right. Now you have our people that have scattered amongst these other nations or whatever, but predominantly it's these other nations that in the spirit they're getting ready to fight. All right. It says, "Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." And we see that. Okay. Different nations like Iran, different nations like Lebanon, Yemen, all right, and these different Arab states around the Israelis, they refuse to be bullied, all right, for the IDF to commit war crimes on their people and to just stand idly by and wait for humanitarian aid or wait for international law to judge the matter. All right, they're not doing that. So these other nations are these smaller nations, these weaker nations are getting emboldened and saying, hey, we ready to go to war with them and America if so be. All right, and that's happening right now as we speak. All right, different other nations, uh, you know, these corrupt politicians that set up. You got these different people, all right, going to be seditious towards their government you know, to overthrow and to go to war and all different types of shit. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, because that mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and let them come up to the valley of Yahweh Shappah. For there, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." That's right. The Lord gonna bring all these other nations over there into that east, western Asia period area, and what they refer to as the Middle East. All right, and really pop this thing off, okay? Because it talks about that in the book of Jeremiah, how the least of the flock shall draw them out. Least of the flock. All right, Slakia, let me go grab it. All right, Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20. It says, "Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom." Okay, who's that? The Edomites are the Idumeans. In other words, Edom means red. It's talking about the Caucasian man, all right, the so-called white man. It says, "And his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman." The Temanites are it's pretty much like the smart ones of Esau. You know, Temanites really goes back to the it's been taught that it goes back to the Germans, but it's really talking about the wise men of Edom. All right, the wise men of Edom. It says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." Right. So the least of the flock, which is what those Amalekites, those Israelis over there. All right, Benjamin Netanyahu, and starting all that shit with all those different Palestinians and Arab and Elamite nations. All right, Ishmael and Elam. nations is going to draw America into that fight over there. All right, to aid the Zionists. All right, and they're pretty much they're going to try to do the same thing they did. All right, covet that, and try to take it with violence. You know, that's what they're trying to do with the strip of Gaza. They try to take it with violence, and they do all types of war crimes and shit. You know, it's a violent man, and pretty much the whole earth is suffering because this man is wicked. It's wicked rulership. Scripture says he would take peace from the earth. All right, and that's all that this devil does. Pretty much go from place to place, committing hypocrisy, trying to act peaceful, but then going about and just breaking all the deals and just going to war and just committing much bloodshed. All right, that's the time that we're living in. All right, so they're going to draw America into it. Now, those people that's in the land right now are not the children of Israel. Those are the Edomites, because it talks about them taking over the land as their own in the book of Ezekiel, I believe the 28th chapter. I'm sorry, not the 28th chapter. So like, cast it out for a prey. All right, so it's in Ezekiel the 36th chapter. I'll start at the first verse. It says, "And thou, son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient high place of ours in possession. Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, they have made you desolate, and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are the talk, ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are in infamy to the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh to the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, and to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey to the derision of the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, and cast it out for prey." So we know that the Idumeans is talking about the Edomites. That's just a Greek way of saying Edom. And they're what? In the land, casting it out for as a possession, and casting it out for prey. All right. It says, "Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I have spoken in my jealousy against and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are round about you, they shall bear their shame." Okay, and the Lord's going to destroy them heathens out of that land. All right, because they're imposters. They're not to be in that land. They didn't Balfour Declaration of 1948. Creation of Israel under the Balfour Declaration is not any fulfillment of prophecy. All right, the Lord is going to bring us, the true Hebrew Israelites, back into our own land and get rid of those imposters, those rats, out of our land. All right, but they're in their land to fulfill prophecy. That's it. They fulfilled the prophecy over here in Ezekiel 36, and they're going to fulfill the prophecy in Jeremiah 49:20. They're in that land. They're going to draw America over there to fight with them. Now, who also is gonna go over there is gonna be Russia, because right now the tension between the Israelis and the Iranians is high over in that region. Right? They made deals in JCPOA, the Joint Conference of Plan of Action, which former President Trump nullified and broke that agreement up. So it was to keep the uranium enrichment below 3%, right? Because when you get uranium enriched a certain percent, 80, 90%, you're able to, make nuclear weapons. All right, when it gets enriched to at a high level like that. So they said that they would keep the uranium at 3% enrichment, and they would take sanctions off of them. All right, but just like America always breaking deals, they pretty much came out of that deal, okay, with them. Um, and uranium's been enriched. I mean, I'm sorry, Iran has been enriching their uranium. And I was reading this article the other day. It said just in a few weeks that they'll be able to, you know, abilities and so on and so forth, stockpile nuclear weapons and things of that nature, right? So the Lord is moving everything, and then also between Russia, right, and America, they had an IMF treaty, um, which is pretty much short range, long range missiles that to not shoot them and stuff. A certain agreement that they had. All right, and that treaty, that agreement was also nullified under President Trump. All right, so Trump coming to office, people think he's going to do this and that and that and this, but a lot of the things the policy that he pushed really open up for world war. All right, really open up for wars, and the Democrats as well. All right, but that's why we tell you it's two eagles of the same bird. Regardless, Yahweh Shema Shai controls the hearts of the king. All right, so going back into let's go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 38. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, chief prince of Meshech of Tabal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech of Tabal. And I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them, with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, and right there, right, the modern day Persians would be those Iranians. Gog and Magog, that is the land wherein Russia is inhabiting. Okay, so this is talking about Russia and their military might being used to protect the Iranians. All right, and we know that America is going to use their military might to protect the Israelis. And that's going to spark, all right, World War III, and ultimately nuclear missile being fired off. All right, Shalom.